Reports around the world are linking Paris Saint-Germain manager Mauricio Pochettino to yet again another move to Manchester United. In fact, this time they are doubling down by saying that he might come to Manchester United as early as March or April this year. Now, I don't think that the people running Manchester United are that stupid, but still, I feel that I have to make a video about this topic in order for me to give you 3 sensible reasons why that's not gonna happen. And God, if it happens, I'll be mad. I mean, what else can I do, right? But anyway, I'll be like really mad. Before we start with the first reason, let me first say that I actually like the guy. I actually like Mauricio Pochettino. As a guy, he seems to be a cool dude, and as a manager. But like I've said in other videos, I can appreciate players and managers while they're playing for other clubs, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I want them at Manchester United, because over the past 10 years, our main issue has been decision making. We've made so many mistakes, and our chickens have come to roost, and we are still paying the price for them right now, right? So I don't want us to make any more of those silly mistakes, right? And I think that hiring Mauricio Pochettino would be a massive mistake. So I do like the guy, and one of the main things I like about him is the fact that his man management is world class, in my opinion. In my opinion, he's one of the few managers in the world who has struck a balance between being really strict and demanding and instilling discipline into his players, while at the same time being likable, right? Not many managers can do that, right? And one of the best examples of that is the fact that even at Paris Saint-Germain, where there are so many egos that clash behind the scenes, right? Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar in the same team, that's definitely going to be a problem. The Mbappe contract situation is also pretty tricky, and yet he was able to just navigate through that and make PSG play like a somewhat homogeneous group, and that is a testament to his man management ability. But of course, being the right manager is not just a matter of having man management skills, but rather is looking at a whole to see if this manager is actually suitable to the needs of the club, which I think Mauricio Pochettino simply isn't. And the first reason is Mauricio Pochettino is a choker. He's a bottler. If you remember Leicester's title win back in 2015-2016. Now, I loved it. As a neutral in that title race, and just for the sake of football, that was a beautiful football moment that Leicester won that league. However, when you consider the resources of both clubs, the pedigree of both clubs, as well as the squads and the players that both teams had, Leicester had no business winning that Premier League title. That Premier League title was Spurs' title to win. That was Mauricio Pochettino's chance to win the league. Not only that, but actually in that period between 2015 and 2017, most of the top 6 teams, Manchester United, City, Liverpool, they just were not in form. They were all not in shape to compete. And so this is why Leicester had a chance to win the league title. In fact, even Arsenal was in the title race in 2015-2016. And that's why Spurs was also in the title race. And yet, Mauricio Pochettino simply could not win it. The year Leicester won the league, just let me tell you this. This is so ridiculous, you won't believe your mind. The year Leicester won the league, they won it with 81 points. There's only one Premier League champion that has won it with less points, and that was Arsenal in 1997-1998 when they won it with 78 points. Listen to this. The year Jose Mourinho finished second with Manchester United, he actually finished on 81 points. Jose Mourinho himself said that that was the biggest achievement of his career. Turns out he was right, because he could have been an English Premier League champion with Manchester United, because Leicester also won it with 81 points. That's just to show you how low the standards were in 2015-2016, and yet Pochettino could not win the league. Same thing the next year, he came back with his team, but Conte had an ace up his sleeve. He played with 3 at the back, which many teams in the Premier League, including Pochettino's team, were not used to, famously playing Moses as a right wing back, and they ended up winning it, right? So Pochettino had 2 seasons where he had a chance to really have a shot at winning the league. He had definitely the players to do that, but he simply didn't do it. He choked where it mattered. Now, the second reason I don't think Mauricio Pochettino is the right choice for Manchester United is simply due to his inability to rebuild a team and get going again and have another go at a title after a setback. Now, most great managers, definitely Sir Alex Ferguson, had that quality, that ability to actually rebuild squads after each setback. Throughout Sir Alex Ferguson's tenure, we had to inject new blood into the Manchester United squad quite frequently in order for him to compete. We would go 2 to 3 seasons as winners, and then we would miss out 1 or 2 seasons in a row, and then we would come back in the third season. Famously, it happened in 1995 with You Can't Win Anything with Kids, right? It happened right in the beginning of the 2000s with Arsenal's Invincible and the Mourinho era. And then it happened with that Aguero goal, right? When we lost it in 2012 and we came back in 2013 to win it again, right? And it's that attitude, that defiant attitude of just telling your players, looking at them in the face and just saying, listen, lads, I know that this is a kick in the bollocks, but we are definitely coming back stronger next season and we are definitely winning this thing, all right? I just don't think that Mauricio Pochettino has it in him. Now, if we contrast Mauricio Pochettino with another potential candidate at Manchester United, Erik Ten Hag. Erik Ten Hag had a spectacular run in the Champions League in 2020 with Ajax, actually famously losing to Pochettino's Spurs with that Lucas Moura goal in the end, in the last minutes of the game, where they had a spectacular Champions League. But even though right after that Champions League, they actually sold all of their star players, Frankie de Jong, Donny van de Beek, Hakim Ziyech, right? All of these players were sold and he brought in new players. He injected new bloods, the likes of Sebastian Haller, who is a West Ham reject, by the way, right? Players like Anthony, for example, as a replacement man for Hakim Ziyech. Well, this season, just to help you visualize that and better understand what I'm talking about here. This season, in fact, just a few months ago, everybody in the English media were praising Liverpool for being the first English team to win all their 6 games in the Champions League group stages, right? So they qualified from their group stage with 18 games. And everybody was talking about, oh, see, Liverpool are amazing. There was another team who qualified from their group stage with 18 points. Can you guess it? Exactly. Erik Ten Hag's Ajax. 18 points. And they won most of their games with tennis scorelines. And in their group, they had Erling Haaland's Dortmund, a very good team, and Ruben Amorim's Sporting Lisbon, who are the Portuguese champions and who are a very defensive team and a very well organized team. And yet, Ten Hag, with his Ajax, they won all 6 games and they scored plenty of goals and they were spectacular. So Ten Hag can demonstrate that. He has demonstrated over the years that he's able to, even though if there is a setback, to just rebuild his squad, regroup the troops, and then have another go, right? But so far, Mauricio Pochettino hasn't showed that. When things didn't go well for him at Spurs, it just became a disaster. When he got fired from his Spurs job, they were 14th in the league. And so there is no evidence that shows that Mauricio Pochettino has that in him, that he can actually rally the troops, be defiant, and just go back and have another go even after a setback. Now, the third reason, and this is the key one, this is the most important one, and it's Ralf Rangnick. You don't bring Ralf Rangnick as an interim coach. No, you bring him because he's a club builder. The reason why Ralf Rangnick is here is because at Manchester United, we have lost the way. We have no idea who we are. We have no identity. We don't have a concept. What is Manchester United? What are our long-term goals? How do we play? What type of players do we look for, right? How do we develop our youth? How do we give our youth a chance? How do we create a pathway for them from the academy to the first team, right? Manchester United has lost the plot, right? So this is why we need a man who can give us a blueprint, right? A roadmap of how we can become successful again. And that's what Ralf Rangnick is doing. That's what he's doing. But you cannot halfway or just in the beginning of the Ralf Rangnick experiment to just say, oh, you know what, Ralf Rangnick, well, PSG, their first choice is Zinedine Zidane, so they are gonna let Pochettino go. And, you know, we want Pochettino, so, you know, we're just gonna hire him. So, you know, that's it. We're done with the Ralf Rangnick experiment. No. That's not how you run a business. That's not how you run an organization the size of Manchester United. No, Ralf Rangnick is here to create a structure. So the next Manchester United manager has to fit into the structure. If the structure is, okay, we will play gegenpress, right? This is the shape that we use. This is the tactic. This is how we instruct our players to play. This is how we coach our players in order for them to fulfill their potential. This is the type of players that we recruit. These are the attributes and the characteristics that we look for. These are the personalities that we look for, right? Once we establish that structure, we bring in a manager who will fit into that structure. If you bring in someone like Pochettino, I think he's a victim of his own success because he's managed some major clubs, especially Spurs and Paris Saint-Germain. So rightfully so, he's gonna have an ego. I just don't see him coming in to just do what Ralf Rangnick asks him to do. On the other hand, someone like Erik Ten Hag, he's already used to working in Ajax Amsterdam, which are a very rigidly structured club. And also on top of him, there are people like Mark Overmars, for example, and Edwin van der Sar, who provide that framework within which he works. And so if he comes to a club like Manchester United with a Ralf Rangnick structure, then that's not an alien concept to him, because he's been doing it at Ajax and he's been pretty successful with it at Ajax. But someone like Pochettino is not happy at Paris Saint-Germain now because of Leonardo. Because Leonardo is the director of football, the sporting director, and he's the one who is overseeing everything. Pochettino is a coach. Just manage whoever we give you. Just manage whatever squad that I give you, but I'm the visionary. I'm the one who sets everything up for you. I'm the one who hires managers. I'm the one who recruits players. I'm the one who decides how the academy operates, right? And Mauricio Pochettino is not happy with that. But if Ralf Rangnick is the Leonardo of Manchester United, then Pochettino won't be happy at Manchester United either. And Manchester United would be really stupid for them to go for Mauricio Pochettino, instead of someone like Erik Ten Hag, for example, or even giving Ralf Rangnick an extra year for him to build that structure and steady the ship even more. Okay, so these are the 3 reasons why I don't think that Mauricio Pochettino would be a good choice for Manchester United. If you agree or disagree with me, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and cheers.